Tonight, a Plant City woman is in custody accused of leading troopers on a high-speed chase spanning multiple counties, all while wearing little to no clothing. Florida Highway Patrol pursued the woman, who was in a stolen vehicle, they say. She was from Sumter County, and she was going to Hernando, then to Pasco. They say she hit 100 miles per hour or more at some points. Troopers had to use a pit maneuver to stop the car. They say she was behind the wheel, nearly naked. She's charged with grand theft auto, reckless driving, fleeing and eluding, driving with a suspended license, and possession of meth.
Only on News Channel 8, video of a wild car chase that ended with a group of teens in handcuffs. It turns out those teens were part of a massive crime ring targeting convenience stores. News Channel 8's John Rogers joins us now live from Apollo Beach with more on this. This video is incredible.
It is incredible, Jen. It was shot right here because you can see the skid marks right on that median over there. This is where the multi-county chase came to an end. But this crime ring is massive, encompassing much of Central Florida. At around 4:30 this morning, deputies had the stop sticks ready on US 41 in Apollo Beach. After a 26-minute pursuit, this chase finally came to an end. 4 teenagers were arrested, including 19-year-old Brashawn Hall. Officials say earlier that morning they were among a group of 7 suspects who robbed cigarette cartons from convenience stores in Apollo Beach and Manatee County.
It seems to be a ring operation, and they're using, like last night, kind of a flash mob style where they just come in a large group and they're able to get what they want and get out.
They can resell them. They sell them to convenience stores. They sell them on the streets. It's easy money for them.
Authorities also believe these suspects stole $10,000 worth of cigarettes from a 7-Eleven in Largo at around 1 this morning.
We don't believe that they got all of them, so we will be working in conjunction with them to find out more information.
Investigators say most of these suspects appear to be young. Even though 4 teens were caught, other suspects got away in a white Toyota Camry. Sheriff's departments across the area are working in conjunction with ATF on this case. Officials are also concerned that there still could be more robberies in the near future, and authorities are also investigating whether these teens could be connected to other similar crimes that were reported in Pasco and Charlotte counties. Reporting live in Apollo Beach, John Rogers, News Channel 8.
Now an armed robbery suspect is in the hospital after leading police on a chase and then a crash.
Detectives say that suspect also shot himself. 8 on your side's Deanne Roberts is live from 48th Street and also Idlewild Avenue where the crash happened. So Deanne, you've been following this story all morning long, and we've learned that you just spoke to neighbors. What's the latest?
Good morning. So here's what happened. Obviously, the accused robber smashed into this pole. Then I'm told he ran over this mailbox and ended up in this person's yard, who's now left with this big mess to clean up.
Of course, I was scared because, I never heard anything like that so close.
Not wanting to share his name, this neighbor's night was interrupted after hearing the unimaginable.
A vehicle hitting a pole and ending up when it stopped, after it hit the pole, the engine was revving like someone was actually accelerated several times.
This all happening right in his front yard. The neighbor says the revving went on for nearly 5 minutes as Tampa police demanded the person to get out of the car.
And all of a sudden, I heard 2 little pop shots. Something, maybe a firecracker to a gun or something went off.
Tampa police say this man, Rashad Hill, smashed into a pole on 48th Street and Idlewild Avenue after leading officers on a chase. After the crash, police say Hill shot himself. Now he's in the hospital in critical condition. Police had been looking for Hill since Monday. He was wanted after being accused of robbing the Knorr meat market. Around midnight this morning, TPD got word Hill was at the Tampa International Airport. They began monitoring his movements, deploying stop sticks, but Hill kept driving. He was eventually chased and ended up in this neighbor's yard. Now he's left with a big mess to clean up. Right now, you're looking at the debris that was left from Hill's car that this person has unfortunately had to wake up on his Wednesday morning and just clean up. And he also has to worry about all of this mess currently in his yard. Now, as far as this investigation, we are still working to learn if Hill is connected to any other ongoing investigations. Of course, you can count on us to keep you updated on air and online. I'm reporting live in Tampa this morning. Deanne Roberts, 8 on your side.
Chain of events in Pasco County. New video shows how troopers ended the chase with a driver they say sped through a deadly crash scene and nearly hit 2 investigators.
Well, this morning, FHP is looking for the person responsible for that initial crash. And on your sides, Beth Rousseau, live from the scene in Dade City with how all of this unfolded. Good morning, Beth.
Hey, Chris and Avery, a really wild chain of events. Florida Highway Patrol says that original hit-and-run crash that killed the woman from Dade City happened here on US 301, right near DeRossier Road. Now take a look. You can see there's not many street lights. It's a very dark section of road. New video shows what made this even more dangerous for troopers. Dash camera video shows Florida Highway Patrol chasing a Chevy pickup truck they say sped towards troopers during the investigation into a deadly hit-and-run crash on US 301 in Pasco County. FHP tells us this pit maneuver finally stopped the driver, who ignored their commands, drove through the crime scene, ran over the victim for a second time, nearly hit multiple troopers, and refused to pull over for 10 minutes. Investigators say Andrew Crewman was behind the wheel. The 23-year-old is facing several charges. Now FHP is hoping this small piece of evidence found at the scene will help them track down the driver responsible for the original hit-and-run crash that killed the 49-year-old woman from Dade City. Florida Highway Patrol says that limited evidence that they found on the scene, they do believe that the driver they're searching for could be in a silver Dodge sedan or van. They say if you have any information about the crash that happened on US 301 here in Dade City, go ahead and give them a call. We posted their number for you on the WFLA app. We're live in Pasco County this morning. Beth Rousseau, 8 on your side.
It was a bank robbery followed by a car chase that resulted with cash all over the road. Not your typical day in Pinellas County. News Channel 8's Jen Holloway joins us from the scene of the crime in Clearwater.
That robbery went down here in the Hancock Bank here behind us in Clearwater, and within minutes, that suspect was in handcuffs. The ordeal started here along US 19, just north of 580. The Pinellas Sheriff's Office got the call just before 4 p.m. A male suspect had robbed tellers inside this Hancock bank. Once he got his loot, he reportedly fled in a getaway car. But with a quick reaction from Pinellas deputies, he did not get very far. Eagle 8 HD was covering the story from high above. Our News Channel 8's Paul Lamison describes what happened next.
Deputies were able to follow it, pursue it, disable it, catch the person, get the car. He tried to avoid stop sticks and crashed.
His crime spree ended in this crash on Curlew, just east of 19. Meanwhile, back at the bank, other Pinellas deputies were picking up wads of cash, blowing around on the side of US 19.
Take a look at this. These deputies are down in the ground. They're actually picking up money from the bank robbery.
And from what we understand, the criminal tossed that money out of his car, perhaps trying to get rid of evidence. Just a few moments ago, the sheriff's office told us who the suspect is. It's 37-year-old Anquan Walters. They also tell us the reason he threw the money out the car window was because those bags of cash were filled with dye packs. And when they started exploding, he started throwing. In Clearwater, Jen Holloway, News Channel 8.
Dramatic video showing Florida Highway Patrol breaking up a reported street takeover. FHP tells us this is from a joint law enforcement operation Friday night after receiving tips about several street takeovers planned in Hillsborough County, where drivers race and perform dangerous stunts. This is video as troopers arrived at one of the reported takeovers near Fletcher Avenue and Bruce B. Downs Boulevard, resulting in multiple chases. Dash camera video shows sparks flying from a vehicle as the driver runs from law enforcement, a trooper eventually hitting the driver, stopping them at a nearby Wawa.
If you're running and you're panicking, obviously you can kill somebody. Not only that, in a gas station, what if it turns into flames?
And in this video, the driver of a white car takes off until a trooper is able to stop them with a pit maneuver. Law enforcement says they were also able to shut down 2 other takeovers before they turned dangerous. One at Bush Boulevard and Florida Avenue, the other at the Temple Terrace Winn-Dixie.
It's very dangerous for the community, especially around here where there are a lot of families with kids that walk. And the chases, the police chasing them, that's just add to the extra danger.
We reached out to FHP. A spokesperson sent the agency's pursuit policy, which says in part, quote, the member must determine if the suspect is actively fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer or has previously committed a forcible felony. In determining the appropriateness, speed, and extent of a pursuit, the member must exercise due regard to ensure that their actions are objectively reasonable.